Hi, and welcome to Facebook Live. The sisters are in again. Oh, boy, that still amuses me. Marnie Nir. I'm a senior coach at Handel Group, and this is my sister, Lauren Zander, co-founder and chairwoman of Handel Group. And today's topic is family dynamics. Something we know nothing about. First time ever dealing with it. If you sent in your question, thank you. And if we pick yours, we are going to get an email that gives you a $50 gift towards a private coaching session. Ready, Laura?
Ready.
All right. Here we go. We'll start with the heavier first.
I like heavy.
Okay. All right. I am a 33-year-old woman, and I am also an only child. I have been close to my mother my whole life, but never close to my father. How do I start the much-needed process of healing with my father when he has been emotionally and physically abusive to me and my mother on and off for the majority of my life? I feel that once I work on my relationship with him, I will draw in the right partner to spend my life with, which is really important to me, but I'm scared and overwhelmed to start the healing journey.
Good point. So this one is really tough, and I do think your connection between healing your relationship with your dad has everything to do with what's possible with trusting and loving and finding a good man to be with. And so you're in the right cavity. I'm sorry, it is a root canal. Some things really are, and that qualifies. So here's how this works best. There really is the story according to your mother and you from your mother's point of view. And that story, I promise, is not the story your father's telling. And your ability to understand why he's such a fill in the blank, it doesn't necessarily forgive him. It just starts to accept the truth about him. And you need to understand his version of reality and care. Not so you can finally make your point, but you really never paid and you never did this and you did that, right? Like not to have a fight, but to really see it from his perspective and to accept his version of reality. And the truth is I'd have you do that and then hurry back to your coach and find out the two, different versions of reality so you can start to see what you could build for him to accept also from your point of view. Oh, it was like this for you. It was like this for me. When you didn't show up to this and you said this about mom, I thought you were saying this about her and me. Right? So there's the healing work is coming to an understanding, if possible, with him so that you can let the past go in the past. By not because it's okay, but because you can forgive something, right? So it has to get into a form that you can forgive. And part of forgiveness is one, understanding how it was for them. What you have to forgive is the way he saw it and the way he experienced you and your mom is really something you need to understand so you can forgive him for everything he did for you, because that was the combat the two of you were in. And you didn't really understand his side. Now you were the kid, and Lord knows it was the grown-up's responsibility, but that doesn't mean it works, that logic. It should, it would be really nice, it doesn't.
Right.
So what you would do is you would start to make a list of every question that you need him to answer. Did he ever fall in love with your mother? Did he cheat? Every last question that you have, would he be willing to tell you his version of what happened in his life, in his marriage, with his family, his kid, and you really want to hear everything, and these are all your questions, and let's sit for 2 hours, and then we'll meet up again. And you're acting like a journalist, just taking the notes or recording the session and starting to build a bridge. That builds a bridge that you want to hear his side of the story. Okay?
Genius.
There you go.
Right? And it's also making sure you want to know further back too, right? His parents and what caused him, right? And truly from as unemotional as you can get about it. As a reporter, like Lauren says, it's key. and that your dad is safe to say it all. You're so freaking curious about it. You need to know, want to know. He's safe to tell it all. Because, yeah, you just want to get his truth.
Yeah. And then after you have his truth, you'll have a much better understanding of what you really need to process to forgive and accept. So you can really just understand him, which then gives you a kind of an ability, it gives you an ability to listen to a man, right? And accept having different stories, entirely different versions, and then how to weave them together is really how to make a relationship. And to love someone, even though their story doesn't line up with yours, is a big revelation for a human, right? Like, oh, you and I don't have to agree, and I can keep mine and you can keep yours, and we can still understand each other and love each other. Okay, right? And so you can live with, you're religious, I'm not. You're gay, I'm straight. You're like, all of a sudden, such different realities can come together and accept each other. Okay? So you're looking for that bridge. And the first thing you need is the truth. His truth.
And a pencil. Write it down. It really is your opportunity to grow yourself up, which we all need to do.
And humans do not. Everyone's lying. If you go, why isn't anybody telling the truth? One of the reasons no one's telling the truth is because the stories suck, right? I don't want you to think this or know this, or I had a girlfriend, or whatever I was doing, which I can explain to myself or to someone who loves me. So everyone's wishing humans were different than we actually are, and we're not. And so the more we accept who we really are, the more you can accept that's really who he is, and love him for who he is and who he isn't. That doesn't mean you bring them over for drinks. That doesn't mean it doesn't mean you owe everything in some ideal world. But we need to start to deal with where humans really are and where you are with him.
All right. Beautiful.
Good. All right, next one. Heavy.
No, this one's lighter.
Good.
I think. No, yeah. It is. All right. This one starts with a good day. Good day. I have an aunt who is in her 70s, and I'm 54 years old. My daughter and sister have watched her deliberately grab my hands and not let me go. She smiles and tells me I look great. All good, right? I tell her thank you, but then she gets in my personal space and follows me all over. I have kindly asked her to stop or suggest you are invading my personal bubble. She just laughs. She only does this to me. My daughter, who is 25 years old, wants to say something, but doesn't want to be disrespectful. This happens at every family function if I go. What do? It's embarrassing and I feel bullied. Help.
Get on her lap? Sit on her. Get in her space first. Like, go with it, right? What would happen? How many times do you think if you went with it? Like, you hugged her, you got in her space, you got in her lap, you like went with it? Like, how, so I'm a baby sister. Right, I'm the baby in the family. I'm like, give her medicine. Okay, maybe that's not the most appropriate answer. Though I do like that your kid wants to say something. You have to really say something. You have to stop her. She's just loving you. You give her that. I know you love me. I know you're great to me, and you have no idea that this drives me really as actually crazy as it does, and it's starting to feel like you don't care about me, even though you love me. You don't care about me. Because I really want you to stop that. And I'm sorry that you want to do it. And I'm like a dead no. So please promise me you won't do that anymore. And then silence and wait. Okay? Do you promise? Do you promise? Do you close the deal? And see what happens next time. And then if she breaks the deal, like, you broke the deal, I'm going to start charging you money. Right? Like you're going to have to make it funny. Tell. And run. Gotta go. And, do a better job after you communicate fully if she doesn't let up. But I bet she'll let up if you really do a good job telling her that it really drives you a little nuts, even though you know she loves you. What do you think?
I think that's right. Look, I think in your question, you can kind of tell where you're still being what Lauren would call nice about it. right? Which is
Yeah.
snake plus nice. She's invented a word, nice.
Nice.
Right? And that's why, like, so I think I'm a little suspicious that you just still try to do it nicely so that she doesn't get it. Because you even say, like, if she giggles and you tell her about your personal bubble, you're not telling her the truth of you're calling it frickin' bullied. Right?
Yeah.
So personal bubble and bullied is way different. You're being kind of Canadian. Oh, you're being nice, right? You're being sweet.
Send text directly to Marnie.
I love Canadians. They're just so sweet. And then just try not to tell the whole truth because they think it would be bad. Except you're the one who's actually like quietly being mean to her, right? Because she doesn't know really how bad it is.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Tell her the truth.
Tell her the truth. All right. Okay. I'm 31 and I need to think about having children in this decade. I'm in a relationship and we've discussed that neither of us are sure we want to have children. We both have so much we want to do and feel like we are just getting started and our kids would stop that momentum. I'm glad we have that. I'm glad we have had that honest conversation to start. At the same time, I can't imagine not having kids, but I worry that it's more of a fear of missing out voice in my head. My impression is that most people know they want kids and it's a sure thing for them. How come I can't tell what I really want?
Okay, well, this one has a list for me, like a pop-up list. So first, I love modern society. So if anybody's offended by my answer,
I just pissed off Canadians.
tweet me. Go freeze your eggs. Right? Like there is nothing better than taking that money and handling your insurance policy. You're 31 years old. 31, 33? 31 years old. I would recommend not having to worry about it because you handled it. So go get yourself a bag of 20 eggs, put them on ice, and you can then wonder freely for a very long time. Okay? And you don't have to worry that your eggs are better when you're 31 than when you're 37, when you actually feel the clock ticking. Okay? And you saved yourself any trouble. Okay, so that's my first really good answer. Second answer. As someone who loves my career, and if I had to choose between a career or a family, we agree we won't ask me that question. Don't ask me that question. But the truth is, I have 3 kids, and I have not had an experience that I sacrificed anything for my 3 kids, right? As a matter of fact, my kids would agree, right? See parent letters. Anyway, so it's not true that the minute you decide to have a kid, that it's going to radically change your whole life. But how it changes your life and how to make a workaround and include it really does work. Billions of people have done it before you that are very successful and really have the best relationship with their kids and their spouse, and it's possible. Okay, so that number 2, you're not right? The day you decide to have a kid, it doesn't mean you're giving up your business. The other thing you're not factoring in is profound love for your child, right? You have no idea how it feels to love your kid because you haven't had one or even gotten to that place where you even for 1 second go, I'm pregnant. Right? Like that knowledge, right? So you don't really know what you're talking about. And you're 31 and you're not married and you're not past any of these big milestones that then go, well, now we're married. Oh my God, look at our first house. Oh my God. Should we get a dog? Right? Like, you understand there's like, hey, you weren't first here and there's a lot of things that happen and you're not even up to any of those stages. So I wouldn't worry, if you freeze your eggs, about whether it's true or not if you want kids. Okay? It buys you time to really want them. And you're right, you should really want them before you have them because it is a mission and a half to have children and they bury you in a good world. And so they're around a long time. Very long commitment. Very long commitment. But also, I love
Yes.
Love being a parent. Okay. Was there anything else? Oh, and so then back to my pop-up list. Sometimes the reason you are nervous about having, like, where's my desire to have a kid? It makes me want to go back to your parents' marriage and their raising of kids and what either one of them made it look like to you or how much work it was. So possibly you have a cavity about having children and raising a family because you're reacting to what it looked like at home. The odds are very good that something's up there because you're a little tortured. You're not very clear, like, I don't want kids, I'll wait till I want them. Or you're like, I know I want kids, but I don't feel it. So I would do a little under the hood, go into the potential cavity area, molar, right? That you may be reacting to your parents' raising of kids and how hard it looked, or they fought over money, or my dad was never home because he was like, so you have some narrative that could be souring your milk.
Oh, nice visual.
Sorry.
Yes.
Anything
I don't think
else?
I have much to add to that. I think it's genius. I do think I find that most people that don't even have of course someday I want, is because their parents' marriage didn't look that fun, or it looked like someone sold out. So those theories of, do I have to give up my momentum and all that, come from that one of your folks or both of them gave up something, that it was a giving up.
Yeah.
So I think the cavity, the bad teeth come from back there.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
All right. Okay.
I like these.
I
Deep.
know. Let's see. All right. Let's do an in-laws. All right. My in-laws are the type to do everything together. That was in all caps, that everything. And when they come to visit, I find myself getting irritated because I hardly have any alone time. As an example, I like to take walks by myself in the morning, but my mother-in-law invites herself along. Oh, it sounds like me. Invites herself along each time, and I don't want to tell her no and hurt her feelings. But by the time a few days have gone by, I want to run away and hide. Help, I hate feeling like such a monster.
So you're in the middle of being fake. And you're fake because you think you're wrong. Right? You actually think, why won't I go? Why can't she come for a walk with me? You're right. So there's this, they're invading your space, wanting to do what you want to do, liking your life, and then now wanting to be loved, appreciated, talked to, yammer with, like, right? So she loves you, wants to play with you, wants to be with you, and you're like, this is too much. I understand. Okay, I understand. So it's one of two things. One, you go, I'm a bitch, and I really need to cut it out, and I'm playing introvert, and I'm playing a role that doesn't serve my husband, doesn't serve my kids, doesn't serve me. It's not even fair, right? It's not like they live 2 houses down and I can't get a life, right? And she's invading my privacy at all times. We're talking about visits, right? So if the visits are more frequent, I would change my story of my coaching. But if it's not so often, maybe it's you. And you might want to lighten up and plan and invite her on the walk and organize a week that really sets you up, and even sets you up to disappear when you want. Go, and I'm going to want some alone time. I'm going to do this. I'm going to like, let's go for a walk. Then I'm going to go, you organize it so she gets totally loved and taken care of, and you get your disappearing acts that you then are not embarrassed to need. So that's a happy medium, which is probably the right answer. Or if you're closer to someone in my family, where we do exactly what we want, exactly how we want to do it, and we don't at all offer workarounds, right? Unless you fight with us, right? Because we're truth tellers. Okay, you could really look her in the eye and say, I think you're awesome and wonderful, and you are so used to playing with someone else, and I am slightly antisocial, freak flag, and I'm embarrassed that I'm like this, but I am, and so I love you, but I want to go on my walk alone, and I want us done every night at 8. is that possible without you thinking I'm a jerk? Or am I a jerk and I should get over myself? How about every other year? Right? Like, so then you negotiate from telling the truth that you're sorry, you're, use introvert, right? Need space, right? Like, freak flag, but I'm keeping it.
Cool.
Yeah.
And look, when Lauren says freak flag, what she really means, like what she calls a freak flag is something about you that you just aren't going to change. It may not be your prettiest feature, right? But you have no commitment to changing it, right? So you just have to own it and share it with people and not hide it.
Right.
Like you were trying to do, or nicen up about it. If you ain't getting rid of it, don't get rid of it, right? And then the other thing if you want to nicen up, you're dealing with the noise in your head. Like the reason why it's such a battle is because it really may be a broken law for you. It's not okay for the couple times they come a year for you to be an introvert, right? Go play, but figure it out. You could take 2 walks. Take 2 walks.
Keep going. Drop her off at home and keep going.
And just tell her you could do both. I swear,
Right.
you could do both.
Yeah, the workarounds so that you can take care of someone and get what you want probably isn't in your mind because you're so busy being fake and surviving. You're tolerating, you're appeasing her, but really you're appeasing you.
Yeah.
By being nice.
Honey, take them to yoga. Right? Like, go get taken care of and have them be happy.
Yeah.
Right? They're really, trust me, we know how to do both.
Yeah.
All right, I think we're done. All right, we've got a gift for you this time. In the comments, you're going to find, what do we call it? The Art of Being Honest. It's a great how to have a hard conversation with your in-laws. It's very useful. Yeah. So click on that and get it. Keep sending in your questions, and we'll see you next time.